or mini aria, because this is an EY series, and it comes out with some of the. I asked Brian, I said, what rhythms came out on the Inspire? And he said, well, actually they were already out. They came from all the elite models. So I have rhythms from the Patriot, from the Sterling, from the Marquis, from the Grand Marquis. There's different styles that are on this instrument that come from some of the top of the line instruments. And this, in fact, is what we call an Elite Series organ. What does that mean? Well, just because it's not as big as some of the instruments that we call elite, it doesn't matter. This was elite organ put into a small cabinet for those who could only fit something smaller in their home. And also the Inspire is my favorite instrument because it's a smaller instrument, it's easy to move around, and as you can see in the picture there are things right here called monitor speakers. If you have a Journey or even something smaller than a Journey, you don't have any speakers that come to your ears. So here's the thing. All the speaker power that you have comes from below. Now on the Journey, I know there's a sound bar on the very top, and that's very useful. But the sound bar actually has speakers that come from below that shoot the sound out on top. And that's great. However, on the Inspire, they built 2 additional speakers by themselves as monitors to be right here and right over there. So you have no sound that comes to your knees. Your knees can't hear anything. So with these monitors, they come straight to the bench, straight to the ears of the player, where the best seat is on the bench. So today I'm going to be talking about the Inspire. I love it so much. And the only way to showcase something is to show you what I like the most. Because if I like it, that means that I use it. And if I use it, that means I know how to show it even better. So today, Mr. Brian, if you can go on over there to the next picture, we're going to showcase a little bit of the Inspire today. So one of the things about the Inspire is the cabinet. It's a luxury cabinet. As you can see, the cabinet comes with a lot of space on the top. Go ahead and you can zoom in on that picture there, Brian. You can put your cocktail right there. You can put your pencils. You can put many things in that spot. And the Journey and Fanfare are incredible instruments, but they have a slant on the back of the organ. So it's difficult to put a lamp. It's difficult to put your stuff on that organ, or even a picture. Some people like to put pictures on them. And with this model, Lowrey listens to the customers. And so they flatten this out. And there's a little cabinet right here with my fingers. And there's this much room to put anything you need up here. You can put your pencils. You can put your phone. You can do anything you want. Put a light right here if you need an extra light, or even a picture of your family or whatever you love on the organ. And that was something that they come up with. Now the next slide showcases this feature right here. And if you want to go ahead and show the picture there, Brian, we have a roll top on the organ that covers the entire instrument. The Inspire comes in both colors of mahogany and oak. But as you can see right there, you can close it at night and when you're not playing. And a lot of people say, I got to dust it every week. Well, with this feature of a roll top, first of all, it's more luxury. Second of all, it looks nicer. And third of all, you have a way to cover your keyboard and your buttons so no dust can get into the instrument. Moving right along here. So we have, what's on my next picture there, Brian? Go ahead to the next picture if you would, and you can go ahead and zoom in on that. As you can see, this is our style buttons. What I love about this is, especially for the person on that has a Journey, this is the same exact buttons as a Journey. There's no difference. However, the difference is because I have a window, whenever I touch one of the styles, if you want to go to the next picture, Brian, it'll showcase when I touch whenever I touch one of those styles, it actually showcases the window with 11 styles. Zoom into that for just a second because we're going to talk about it. And then once we're done talking about it, I'll have you go back to the camera and show what it is. But in this style, this is whenever I touch the rock feature. So whenever you touch rock, it comes up, and you can see it right there if you want to circle it for me. Brian, rock is at the very top left, but those are all the 11 styles that come up for rock. So instead of having a variation button or a group 2, or in the journey you touch 1 and it shows 4, well, forget about that. Now you have 11 that are showing per page. And there's 2 pages. You see at the bottom there, circle it for me, Brian, it says next page, which means under rock I don't have 11. I actually have 11 times 2, which is 22 styles. And if you notice, because the technology that they have in this instrument, the screen is not only a touch screen, because it says right there, touch to select, but it's also a colored screen, which means that right there you see Memphis piano and 50s swing rock. Well, they're 2 different colors. One is a matted black, which is what acoustic grand pianos are usually painted as. So you remember, you have a style with a guitarist, full band, and pianist feature. And we call that performer. Where on this one, we don't have a pianist button. We don't have a guitarist button. But on every page of the 11 rhythms, you have both right there in color. One is black, and that means it's for the grand piano sound. Memphis piano is what that is for. And the other one is 50s swing rock. And that would be for, oh, that's one of my favorites there, Brian. That's Rock Around the Clock, Bill Haley and Comets. In fact, I'll play just a little bit of that so you can hear that whenever I select 50s swing rock, you hear a guitar style, which means it's just the guitarist. So here we go. And once again, using that 50 swing rock, it has a brown color to it, which makes it an acoustic guitar. If you've ever seen a guitar, it has a brown color. And I tell you, that's the guitarist style, which is great. Same thing goes for the pianist style. And on every single page, you have a pianist style. And go ahead back to that little picture there, Brian. You have a pianist style and you have a guitarist style. And it's not just 1 or 2. It's on every single page. So on this one, rock has 11 styles showing. And then if you go to the next page, there's another 11. Not on the picture, but if you hit the next page, you have another 11. And in the same spot, you can see. And whenever a lot of people have this instrument, they say, I don't know why that's colored. Well, the reason is once again, it's a pianist and a guitarist style. This instrument actually has, believe it or not, 286 fully orchestrated styles. As I was playing there, you heard that whenever I touched one of the presets or the setups, it brought in the drums and the bass and everybody else. But on number 0, it's just a guitar. So it's a really cool thing because they orchestrated every style but made them specifically for pianist and guitarist styles. We're going to move right along here to another feature that I love. Go ahead to the next page there, Brian. All right, so underneath, if you can go back 2 pictures, Brian, because it's going to show where to do this. It's very cool. One more. Yep. And zoom in right on that. Now, one of the new things on the panel, all of these are the same that came out on the other EY instruments, a fanfare and a journey, but this is an Inspire. It's the next instrument from those 2. But they came up with something called favorites. Circle it one more time there for me, Brian. It's music favorites. And now go 3 slides over there, and you can see that with favorites, zoom in on that one. So here's how this works. If you have a favorite style, for example, on this instrument, I have rhythms from a Patriot, Liberty, Marquis. I have styles that came out on the Elite models, and then they built this one. They had the styles, and then they built the Inspire. So they were able to pick and choose different ones. And the ones that they chose were the most popular rhythms. Well, we just did Brian Lewis's concert. He did such a great job. But I tell you what, one of the comments that we had was Strings 101 is my favorite rhythm. Well, my favorite rhythm on this instrument, the Inspire, is Circle of Lions. And Circle of Lions is one I play a lot. It's for Circle of Life. It came out on the Patriot. And I tell you what, in the favorites, here's how this works. Brian's going to have to do some camera work. But you see it's called favorites. So go ahead and switch the camera. I'm going to show you how to do this. You touch the button favorites on the organ. It's right next to all your styles. It's right here. It says favorites. Okay? And in the screen, you have this screen right here, okay? And it shows you favorites. But if I touch this one right here, the first one, Habanera, it comes on automatically. There it is, Habanera. But I don't like that rhythm as much as I do some of the others. The rhythm I told you I like a lot is called Circle of Lions. So when I touch this rhythm, I can just scroll, and in alphabetical order, it's changing. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the screen here. Get a little closer if you can, Brian. But now I'm in D's, and then all of a sudden I'm in C's, and I can go right to where it says Circle of Lions. Oh, you got it. Okay, you got it. Okay, perfect. You're a great cameraman. All right, so Circle of Lions, and whenever I save that under favorites, watch this. I can turn the organ off, shutting down. Adios. I love it. It tells me a different language. I turn it back on, and as soon as it comes back on, I can touch favorites. And whenever you can do a hard reset. You can unplug it. You can move it across the country. And when it comes back on, whenever you turn it on, you touch favorites. And once again, Circle of Lions is the first one because I just told it to save that under favorites. I just touched it and scrolled to Circle of Lions, and it saved it forever. So now I'm going to play a great song for you that's on the Lowrey Inspire. It came out on the Patriot. It's called Circle of Life, and the rhythm is a signature style, which means that it was designed for this one song called Circle of Life. I'm going to do a little short clip for you. Here we go. Wow. What a great style that is. And that is called Circle of Lines. But again, I was able to put that underneath my favorites. And now, if I'm practicing the song, or it's my favorite style and I love that song, or I have friends coming to my house, I'd probably put that underneath my favorites. So as soon as they sit down and they say, hey, play us a song, you know how your friends are, play us a song. So you just turn on your organ, touch favorites, and all of your favorite styles. Actually, 8 styles can be saved there. Brian, let's go ahead to the next picture here. We're going to move right along, and I hope everybody's having a good time and enjoying the music. But on number 6 here, or number 7, number 8, we're talking about the setups. So here's the thing. This came out on the Inspire, and I love it so much because it's what it does. As you may know, you have a journey. For those of you who may have a bigger instrument, or those of you who have a fanfare journey, you have 8 setups, which means that you have 8 options to choose to sound good. On this one, we have 10, as you can see, 1 through 10 right there, but also there's a vintage button. Well, why did they put that? Well, some people had an instrument before the Inspire that had certain sounds on certain numbers, and they remembered number 4 was their favorite sound, or number 8 was their favorite sound. Well, whenever they came out with new technology, they redid all the sounds. Everything was brand new. So all the numbers changed. So they put this button there for those of you who know your favorites from different instruments. It's called vintage. But at the end of the day, is what it really does is it doubles. It doubles your 10 perfect sounds for that background. If I play country, they're all great country sounds, top and bottom keyboard. If I play Latin, they're all perfect Latin sounds. But when you switch to vintage, it gives you an additional 10 sounds. Now 0 is actually 1, because if you have none of them selected, it gives you 1 perfect sound on the top and the bottom. So you actually have 11. People get confused about that, but it's very simple. 0 counts. If I have nothing lit up, it still sets it up, but then you have an additional 10. So 10 plus the 1, that's 0, is 11, and then you multiply that on this instrument by 2. Well, what's the point? Well, for me, I use different sounds all the time, but before I choose a sound, I go through them to find the best one. Well, instead of having just 8 options or just 10 options, now I have 20 plus 0, so that's an additional, so that's 22 options now. And if you touch your number 3, it brings it up in your screen, which is my next point. Brian, let's go ahead and switch to the camera. We're going to do a close-up on the screen. Here we go. What I love about the windows, we call it, you've seen it before on the calendar, it's called Big Window Workshop. Window Workshop. How to use your touch screen. Well, what does that mean? Well, the touch screen is right here, and there we go. And we can get a little bit thing. And then we have a touch screen so we can literally touch it and select what we want. But what I like the most is that there's a keypad option. So whenever you touch keypad, you can touch, you can touch alphabet, and it comes up to numbers. I'm sorry. It was numbers. It comes up as letters. So now you can type in what you're looking for. So let's say I want to play a song called Girl from Ipanema. Well, that starts with the letter G. So I will just touch the letter G. It's right there. Song setup, and boom, you're in Girl from Ipanema because it starts with a G. You touch it one time and it sets everything up. Let's say I want to play another song. Let's say I wanted to play another song and it starts with the letter, I don't know, let's just do a little bit of Marianne. Everybody loves Marianne. It starts with the letter M as in mom. You touch M and song setup, and sure enough, there it is right now. Macarena. Oh, that's fun. We got to do the Macarena. Brian, do you know how to do the Macarena? I won a dance contest one time because
I used to.
I won a dance contest I'm not a dancer, but I won a dance contest on the Macarena because I was the only one in the audience actually doing the Macarena.
I'll tell you what, if I never saw you do the Macarena, it would be okay.
I'm sure. So here we go. Underneath the letter M, we have Marianne. We have Mary Elena, Marie, Marine's Hymn. Oh my gosh, there's 600 song setups on the Inspire. Yes, 600. And with the keypad feature, I can go to the alphabet and touch Marianne because I put in the letter M as in mom. So it took me straight to Marianne. So here we go. And there it is. Brian, would you like to sing it for us? He's got a great singing voice.
No, thank you.
All right. So anyway, that's the way it works. And with a touchscreen, there's so many things that I have that are very useful. But that one keypad that brings up the numeric and... So numeric. Why do we have numbers? Well, if you know French horn is number 223 or the piano is 001, you can type that in the numbers. But honestly, most people who have this feature use it as an alphabet. The other great thing is that you can look up a style. So there's another signature style that came out on the, I don't even know, on My Way. It came out on the Patriot or something like that, a big elite organ. Well, they put it on this one because they had it. And so if I want to play the song called My Way by Frank Sinatra, your teacher would tell you it's a signature style called Your Way, which starts with the Y. So I can go to Y, and instead of going song setup, because I should really type in M for My Way for song, but this is a style called Your Way. So Y, and then right here I have style list. And sure enough, it sends me straight to the Y's, and there's Your Way. I'm going to play a little Frank Sinatra for you. I'm going to play a little bit of My Way. It's the way I like it, which is My Way, so I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Using a signature style called Your Way, and it's actually under ballad. You know, that's a little side point if I could add. Whenever I use my keypad and it takes me to a style, you know, a lot of students may not know where the style is. We've got a lot of buttons over here to push. Smooth, Broadway. I might have guessed that My Way was under Broadway or maybe under Smooth, but it's actually under Ballad. But since I was able to pull it up via the keypad and touch Your Way, which is the name of the style, it shows me right on the panel what button it's under. So that's another great feature that helps me find where my rhythms are quickly. Wow, that's a great style called Your Way. But once again, because I'm on the Lowrey Inspire, this is a mini elite series, which means it is an elite model. So I have all these great signature styles. In fact, once again, just to tell you, I have 286 styles. And with my favorites, I can save them. The ones that I love the most, even if it's one that you've used forever, you can find it and save it in your favorites, and they're there forever. How are we doing here, Brian? Perfect. So we have one style. Brian did an incredible concert today, and I asked him if he would be happy to come up and play one for us. We have another song before I move on to the feature that I'd like to showcase next, and the buttons. Everybody loves pushing buttons, and let me tell you, you can never break the organ by pushing buttons. Make sure you're pushing those buttons. But I'm going to have him come on and play one for me, just because I don't know this song, and I couldn't really find the music today, but he knows how to play it. And it's a really exciting style, and it's called You're the One That I Want, and it comes from the Broadway Grease. Here he is, and if you missed his concert, make sure you go to youtube.com and check that out. But here we go, Mr. Brian.
All righty. And I'm going to use that same feature that Jason was just talking about. And I'm going to go to Y and song setup. And there it is. You're the One That I Want. Touch that. Everything's all set up and ready to go. So here's You're the One That I Want from Grease.
All right, let's give it up for Brian, everybody. So you used the keypad feature,
I sure did.
and you went to Y, song setup, and there it is. Sure enough, You're the One That I Want. You just touch that, and everything sets up. It's like Christmas. All right, so I'm going to feature one more style that I love the most. This one actually came out on a very nice elite model. People paid a lot of money to get an instrument called a marquis, grand marquis, or an aria. And this one came out on the marquis. It's called Trios Romanticos, and it's one of my favorite Latin styles. And of course, because they came out with this model after all of those, they included that style because it was one of the most popular styles. So here's another song to slow it down a little bit called Apple Pink, Cherry Blossom Wipe. I don't know. Pink
Wipe?
Wipe? I don't know, whatever it's called. It's a beautiful song. Here we go. I'm going to go to keypad here. I'm going to go to T, because the name of the style, my teacher told me, he said use Trios Romanticos. So I'm going to go to T, and I'm going to go to style, and sure enough, there it is, Trios Romanticos. And then whenever I touch it, it says, well, that rhythm is in your Latin button. So next time I use it, I don't necessarily have to use a keypad because I remember it's in the Latin buttons. So just touch Latin, and there it is, and it's one of the guitar styles right there. I love the most about this is that whenever I play a style like that, I can actually see all the rhythms. Brian, can I get a little picture here on my screen if you can get close to it? I can see all my rhythms, all 11 of them. And Trios Romanticos is a guitar style. And if I touch one little custom button, it tells me number 10 is mariachis. That's what I just used. Number 0 was Spanish guitar. So while I'm playing, I can know what is on. You ever ask yourself, I wonder what's on number 5? Well, it's right here. Number 5 is vibes. Watch. Spanish guitar is 0. Number 5 is vibes. Number 10 is mariachi. And I'll finish the song right now, Brian, because you got to play the bridge to this. It makes you dance a little bit. Okay, a couple other things here. Having a screen is great because maybe you have that button called harmony, right? And harmony adds the notes to the one note that you're playing, and it adds the correct notes. But you have to touch harmony, and then you have to scroll in your little screen until you see the harmony that you want. And maybe most students who have that kind of screen says, I don't know what harmony I use. I just touch harmony and it comes on. And actually, you're right. It does come on for the right type of harmony. But with this instrument, because I have what's called the touch screen, the window, I can touch, if we can get a little screen action here, Brian, I touch one harmony button and they all come up. I have 12 harmony features. I have AOC, open AOC, octave AOC, full, block, octave, duet, country. You know what? I mean, that's a Dennis All joke. If you don't have 5-part, just use block. Anyway, that's for those of us who know Dennis All. We love Dennis All. But I have 12 harmony features here, and they're all right here in the screen. Having a touch screen is a huge deal. It allows you to access styles. It allows you to access songs so easy by using a keypad. So you can just, look, I want to play a song called Beautiful Dreamer. Well, that starts with a B. So you just go to song setup or you go to your keypad feature, you type in B, and it pops right up for you. It's one of my favorite things. And Mr. Brian, if you don't mind, go on over to page number 10. On my pictures. And I talked about a lot of things today. There's your vintage. It doubles the 10 setups. Keep going there. All right, now we have one of my favorite features on the instrument. You have a button even on the Journey and on the Fanfare and several others. It came out on an Easy 4, yes, Easy 4, called Fake It. So let me get some keyboard action here, Mr. Brian. I'm going to turn on the Fake It. We're going to do a little country. Can we go to a grid view? I need to see everybody here for just a second. Is everybody okay with country music? Do you like country music? You can just nod your head. I can see you. Okay, good. We're going to play a country song.
What country?
What country? The country from my hometown, Bartow. So the real good old country music. You know it's going to be good when they only have 1 or 2 teeth left. You know what I'm saying? That's the best kind of country there. But here we go. I'm going to do a little country music. I'm going to use a very, very signature style called the train. This is really simple because it's a really great background for all bluegrass music. It came out on a different instrument, but it doesn't matter. The point is that with an Easy 4 or an Easy 10 or different instruments that came out with Fake It, you would have to wiggle your fingers. And it would sound like this. So here it is. Without Fake It, if I play a C note, we got keyboard action here. If I play a C note, it's the same note every time I play it. When I turn on Fake It, listen to what happens. You sound like $1,000,000. I'm playing the same note. But it's not easy. Whenever you have a style like this, that's pretty fast. So you have to go. And a lot of people say, I tried Fake It. It sounds bad. It's because it's not easy to do that. So I tell them the trick. Use 2 fingers and wiggle them together. And then they say, I can't do it that fast. So I say, just do it as fast as you can. So this is what we hear. And that does not sound that good. It's not easy to use fake it. Now, if you can really wiggle your fingers fast, you can do something like this. If you know how to play really good, you can do something like this where you just play all the notes. I just turned fake it off and it looks like this. It's a lot of notes, but with the Inspire, they came out with what was called Fake It Plus, Auto Fake It, which means whenever you hold one black key, any black key, doesn't matter, you just hold it down. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
Woo-wee! Yeehaw!
Wow, that's it. Now I'm going to do a little bit of action here with a song. I'm going to use Fake It when it's time to take a little solo. So here we go. And there is the Fake It Plus feature. So I hope that you learned a lot of stuff today. I just want to tell you a little bit more about the Inspire. I'm happy to send you some information, but we have, if I can get a little bit of panel action here, a couple things I didn't mention about the Inspire. The Inspire added so much memory and speaker quality that the actual tone of the organ sounds just as good as what we would call an elite model. That's why we call this an elite model. However, it has an intro 1 and an intro 2. Right here, instead of just having one intro ending, I have 2 options. So if you want to play something like we did Wonderful World, but let's say you want Louis Armstrong's orchestra to play with you without having to play that song. You use the intro number 2 because the intro number 1 goes with the song that style goes with. Which means if you use a minor, this is a little bit, ask your personal assistant, but if you use a minor chord, it gives you another intro. So that means if you have one intro and ending and you use a minor chord, you actually have 2 intros and endings. If you have 2 intros and endings on the panel, you have 4 options. That's really, really cool. In fact, I know we're short on time here, but I'm going to do one quick one, Brian. Just show the keyboard here, and I'll show you what it would sound like. So I'm going to just choose a very simple background, ballroom Latin, and listen to this. This is intro 1. Beautiful. This is intro 2. And this is intro 1 with a minor chord. And this is intro 2 with a minor chord. So Besé Me Mucho, for example, starts with a D minor. So I'm going to use intro 2 and a minor chord. It gives me 4 options now. Not just 2, but 4. And here we go, a little Besé Me Mucho. Now, while I'm playing, on my screen, I can see what instruments I have. So I know, I can tell you right now, no magic here. Number 2 is 2 flutes. So if I touch number 2, I have 2 flutes automatically. And because I have a screen, I can see everything. So if you ever wondered, I wonder what number I should use, and now I have to try all of them. Here, you don't have to try all of them. I know that I love the flute sound. So when I touch number 2, it says right here it's going to be flutes. Number 9 is mariachis. Number 4 is orchestra. So I have it all right in front of me, and that's such a great feature. And a lot of people who have a small window, one that doesn't show very much, are missing out because not only can I touch what I want here, it's a touch screen, but also it's an information center that literally shows you everything. Well, I just wanted to thank everybody so much for coming on today. I hope you learned a lot. This is the Lowrey Inspire. Brian, what's on my my 10th slide there as a picture? And if you want, you can just scroll through all of them so everybody can see the instrument and a couple pictures and all the things that I just went through. So go ahead and scroll back. There it is, Lowrey Inspire. You have plenty of space on top, the roll top. You have your favorites button. Stop right there, right next to your all your styles, which, by the way, the panel is the same as a Journey Fanfare Easy 10, but you have that favorites button. Keep going there. You have, there's your instrument. You have a touch screen that shows on every screen the pianist and guitarist. You have favorites that you can choose from and select and save forever, the favorite rhythms that you love. You have a vintage style setup, which means that not only do you have 20 options, not only do you have 10, but you have 20. And on my last one there, I just showed it, it's the Fake It feature. And the Fake It on this is Auto Fake It, which means that you just showcase or you just play one black note on the top or bottom keyboard. Go ahead to the camera here, Brian. I'm going to say my salutations. And I hope everybody had a great time today. I hope you learned some things. And I thank you so much for being on, and we'll see you soon.
Don't go anywhere
Now,
yet.
do you think could we get you to do one more song? Do you think we could convince you to do one more?
Well,
And while you
wait.
think about it, because the answer is going to have to be a yes. So while you think about it, I think Robert's joining us. Robert, are you there?
I've been here.
All
I've
right.
been watching.
I'm going
I've
to
been
turn it
watching
over to Robert
Suzanne
for a
bob her
minute.
head around, dancing, and
I
Suzanne,
can
you're a
do
great
another.
dancer.
I'm happy to do another. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Robert. Go.
Hey, Jason, are we recording this?
Hi,
Are we recording this?
We are, yes.
Okay, Jason,
Robert.
hush. Okay, you did a great job, actually. I don't know if you saw in the comment, I even put in there, wow, this is a phenomenal organ. I got to have one. I came in a little bit late. I had a very important appointment, but what I caught was that what I noticed in the demonstration as you were doing it, you mentioned a lot of features from the bigger models, and I remember I was actually, Don, I think you were here at the time as well. I remember when the Inspire was first introduced, what a craze it was for us, because for the first time in history, Lowrey actually finally, they've been trying to do this for years. They always had the top of the line and the number 2 organ. And the number 2 organ was always pitched as it's the little brother. It's got all of the same goodies, but it never really had all of the same stuff as the top. The Inspire, I think we did so well with this instrument was because it was the first time that they truly put more top of the line features and sounds on any other instrument and here's the fascinating thing, in a cabinet in the size and a sleek size without losing a lot of the great sound quality. So there's a lot of great flagship model features in a compact size, which was pretty phenomenal. The good news is, while while you were doing this demo, I was just curious because I've showcased the Inspire a lot in the last 2 months. And I said, I wonder how many we have left in stock. And I looked, and guess what? There are 8 Inspires left in the company. Wow, that's good, right? Yeah. I see Dawn. She's got this angry look on her face. She's got the smile, but it's covering up the anger because she knows probably that 6 of those are in Arizona. Oh yeah, she's nodding. So we do have 2. Well, there's more good news to that. At least there's one in cherry, and there's one in oak. There's one of each flavor there. So that's the downside. There are only 2 of those. But here's back to some other good news. It's traditionally, if you just think about business 101, supply and demand, if you're down to your nitty gritty, you don't usually do a big sale. It's kind of like, it's counterproductive. However, we've been doing some things in the last 2 months under unique times with the leverage that we have with our auditors and financial backing, whatever, however you like to put it. We're doing some very unique things during these times. And what I will tell you is that the 2 models that we have left in Florida are going to still be offered at the same phenomenal pricing that we've been offering, which is probably why we're down to 2 all of a sudden, despite the availability. Usually when you're down to your last 1 or 2 of something, you don't really do big sales because that's it. Now, why is that significant? Well, besides, I think I want to say the Marquis you mentioned, you might have mentioned the Liberty. Those models were flagship models. Without those models available, which we don't have anymore, we have no other way of acquiring an Inspire. So once we sell our Inspires, that's it. So the Inspires that we have in stock may be the last time you get to see and hear an Inspire. And at a pricing that we're going to offer to our club members, it's very special. So I'm going to encourage your PA. In fact, I'm going to insist that they contact you right away and share the great news with you and give you that information. So with that said, I want to thank you. I think I'm going to do a little, let's see here. We got a few of you on there. Suzanne, can you hear okay?
I can.
Let's give Jason a round of applause. Joan, are you there? I don't know if Joan's there. Yes. She's applauding in spirit, I think. But anyway, so thank you for doing this, and great job, Jason, as always. And I think, Jason, you're going to do one little final number before you.
What this is such a famous and such a very cool background style called Miami Conga. And I just found it on the Inspire. I didn't even know it was there. They have them all. They have Miami Rhythm, Miami Beat, Miami Conga. That came out on the Patriot, Robert. So I'm excited to showcase this one. Gloria Estefan is a very famous Latin singer, and she did a song called, what am I doing?
It's that one.
Yeah, I don't even know the name of the song, but it's a great song.
A real famous song.
Well,
What's the name of the style?
It's actually called conga.
What's
And
name
the
of
rhythm style is called Miami Conga. My mother was a teacher, and so every summer she didn't have to teach, because it's summertime. And as a kid growing up, I'd wake up during the summer, and she had she'd be listening to Gloria Estefan doing her aerobics at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'd wake up to Gloria Estefan, and it's stuck in my head ever since then. So please, I'm so glad that you all came on today. I hope you enjoyed this last number using Miami Conga. The tune is called Conga, Gloria Estefan. Here we go. All right, everybody, make sure you check out the youtube.com. Check out the classes that you've missed. Check out the concerts that you may have missed, or you just want to see them again. Thank you so much for being on. I hope you learned a lot in my educational experience here. And the great, give it up for the Lowrey. Inspire, everybody. Hope you're inspired. Take care.
Look forward to seeing everybody again soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.